Roll Tide, everybody. Bama back on the recruiting trail again. We're going to talk about four-star Nolan Wilson, what that means to Alabama, and we're going to do it right here on the Bama Tailgate Show. Shank and Mick with you. Make sure you like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Brought to you by Pearl River Resort. Let's get the show started, and hope you're having a great Independence Day. Maybe you got us on your cell phone while you're manning the grill. Maybe you're watching some TV somewhere, getting ready for fireworks at the parade, wherever you might be. Thanks for hanging and Roll Tide. All right, what did you say, everybody? And thank you for hanging. We got so much to talk about on the show today, and we appreciate all of you guys that are making our show part of your day. Of course, you guys know Shank, Alphonse Taylor. I'm Mick Gillespie. Great to see you. Nolan Wilson, four-star defensive lineman, continues this run of Bama recruiting, trying to get into the top 5 recruiting class. They pick up another guy that I think is going to be very instrumental in winning down the road. What did you see when you watched Wilson on film from Picayune, Mississippi?
My Lord, that kid is a monster. Standing at 6'4", 250, coming off the edge, and he has some explosion to him too. Like that first step is ridiculous, man. And I watched tackles have a hard time even getting hands on him. And then he has a little tool bag on him, man. You can tell he works on his craft. I seen some push pull stuff going on, and he got me excited, man. He got me excited. It's like those throwback D linemen we're used to having. He's just big, disruptive off the edge, and just freakishly fast for no reason. Uh, I'm excited about it, man. You know, that's a big time pickup for Bama. Um, because we are continuing to improve that swarm defense. And like I said before, Kane in the back half of the season last year, that defense was able to finally click. You could tell that light bulb came on, and we were giving some people some fits. And so to bring guys like Nolan Wilson in to come off the edge is only going to improve that defense, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah, this is a guy that Freddie Roach recruited after Alabama, really probably before, but Bama was the first to extend an offer to the defensive lineman from Picayune. Freddie Roach was on there. He took visits to Ole Miss and Miami, down to the Plains, to Auburn, and eventually Miami really pushed hard with the NIL money. But he stuck stuck it out close to home to come to Alabama. And Picayune, Mississippi is Southern Miss. We've had players from there before, but this is another guy that you really feel like it's a position in need, you know. And you, as a former offensive lineman, I'm sure you've seen guys that play D-line and that kind of are similar to his style. When you saw him, was there anybody that kind of stuck out? You were like, man, this guy reminds me of this dude.
Oh man, standing at 6'4", he kind of resembles Ben Davis when he first came out of high school. I don't know if y'all remember that name or not, man. Yeah, but I mean, you can compare him to a few guys, man. You just I think about Ryan Anderson, always off that edge. He's just a physical bulldog type guy, but also has some finesse to him. And when you watch this guy's Nolan's tape, you know, he gets off that edge and he's able to work his hand and work his moves. You know, he fits the mold of that traditional stand-up edge guy for Bama. And even if he was to put his hands in the dirt, man, I think he'll be just fine. It's hard to give him a solid comparable though, because anybody I name him, that you compare him with, just were dogs at Bama. You know, that edge position didn't come through lightly at Bama. Those guys were just absolute animals. If you look back, and you got Ryan Anderson, Tim Williams, man, Terrell Lewis off the edge, and the list could go on and on. You can get back, you can go back into the day into your Courtney Upshaw type guys. It's just it's a position that I don't think gets enough love at Bama, honestly, because they produce every time. And
Yeah.
so I think he fits that mold, and he'll be able to step in and make some plays for us.
You got to love these ceremonies that these guys do when they say that they're going to commit to the different schools, right? And
Yeah.
everybody's so creative. What was it like for you? I know you were committed to Florida State. You ended up flipping to Bama. Did you do anything crazy, anything special? And then what are the ones that stick out to you? I mean, some of these guys, like, it like there was balloons for one of them. I remember he like crimson balloons, like but I'm gonna pick this hat. No, I'm gonna wear this one. I gotta pull this out. Mom's got a hat on, like
Right. Yeah, man. So my ordeal was pretty anticlimactic because since I flipped my commitment, my school was just like, nah, you don't get to do a signing ceremony. Just like we shutting that down. Because they want to stand on some type of code, and I get it. They didn't just want you flipping from school to school because the way my coach seen it, once you give somebody your word as a man, you had to stand on it. Man, and so once I decided to flip from Florida State to Bama, um, that wasn't to be celebrated because in a sense I went back on my word, right? Man, I was perfectly fine with it, man, because I was a spring guy. I went in during January. Um, and we got the ball rolling right away. And so, but there was more than enough people that were happy that I decided to go to Bama that the celebration wasn't needed. So I was fine with that. But man, me as far as these celebrations and ones I remember, I always remember the ones where like guys bring their whole family up to pick a team and they go against the team that their family wants, and you can just see all the disgust on everybody's face. I'm like,
yeah.
damn, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Just like you got your mom and everybody behind you. And like one I remember is I remember Landon Collins when he was picking Bama over LSU, and you know what I'm saying? They weren't necessarily happy about that. Man, I was just like, well, good thing we beat LSU ass every year he was at Bama, so there's nothing to really talk about there, right? Um, but those are always the ones I remember because it's just like at the end of the day, who's it about? Is it about you or the kid, right? Man, because everybody wants to be overly invested in this process sometimes, and they won't be the ones waking up at 5 a.m., get ready for workouts. They won't be the ones going to these classes. They won't be the ones trying to build a life from this sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? It's all on the player. And so always the ones where there's like disgruntled supporters. You know what I'm saying? Those are the ones I remember the most. Yeah, but
That was
I,
I remember the Landon Collin ones, and then he ended up having a great career, and
absolutely.
yeah. So if you had it to do over again, I mean, like your coach wouldn't let you do it the way you probably would have done it had you got the
All right.
pick. But these days, like I don't even think I just think it's changed a lot now. You just be like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm going over to Wild Wings and doing it. If you guys don't want to do it, that's cool. I'm going to go
Right.
over to I'm going to go to Baumhauer's and just set up at the stage, and people will show up for it. If you had it to do over again, and you could do this, right?
Right.
What,
Right.
what what would it have been like? Have you ever thought about that?
Oh man, if we talking NIL and I can just do what I want to do, I'd probably do it big. Like do some shit on the beach or something, man. You know what I'm saying? Just represent
Yeah.
Lower Alabama to the fullest, and just cause it going to Bama, who wouldn't support that from this state besides Auburn people? And even then, it's a certain type of respect when you decide to go to Bama or Auburn, and you're an in-state guy, right? Man, so. I'm definitely thinking like a little beach setup, man. Bring the family down to a condo or something, and just keep it real smooth, real laid back. You know, just enjoy some time on the beach and announce that way. See if I can get
Mhm.
like some.
If
If
I
I want
was
to be,
your
if I was gonna be over the top, man, get one of those planes to fly by, some shit like that
that
with
would have
my
been cool.
announcement on
Yeah.
it.
Everybody's just standing there, and all of a sudden you're,
Yeah, he's just looking up. You're like,
roll
oh,
tide,
oh,
Shank.
yeah. You just
See,
be like, oh yeah,
if I was your agent or whatever they call those guys, I'd be like, all
yeah,
right, look, Shank is going to do his announcement at Honey Baked Ham, and it's going to be at 6 o'clock tonight, right at dinner. Little mini hams.
I love how all your endorsement pictures are with honey baked ham for me, dog. It's go. Hey, before it's all said and done, surely they gonna have to see this, right? they gonna have to make it happen, right? You just like it's
That's what
Shank
NIL is
special.
about.
Yeah. I mean, they need to be more creative in NIL. It's just like, all right, we get it, bro. Like, you're giving people money to represent your brand, but like, let's have some imagination here. Can we get some creativity going on?
We need to get you in NIL now at Honey Baked Ham. Shank's appearance on the Bama Tailgate Show is brought to you by Honey Baked Ham, which, by the way, is awesome. The Honey Baked Ham, honey mustard, for any of you guys that are Honey Baked Ham people, is amazing.
Ooh. I'm with you when you're right. Absolutely.
Get some bread after like the holiday that you get the Honey Baked Ham. And
so they used to Honey Baked Ham used to cater us ham sandwiches, like carved ham sandwiches and shit on the plane sometimes.
Oh yeah,
and that shit used to be legit. Like that's good. That honey mustard is legit, man. You know,
so good.
I can really do a whole episode on just how good they used to feed us at Bama, dog.
Yeah. And well, look, I've been there too. I mean, not with football, but with the other sports. Like, it's crazy because you get on the bus to ride to the plane, and then you know this. They got like everybody's got like a box of something, right? So if it's like pizza that day, you got your own pizza. If it's Chick-fil-A, you got your own Chick-fil-A. Sometimes 2 sandwiches in there. Honey baked ham would have like they ask you what you want. Like there's a person whose job is to get everybody the food that they want. You know what I mean?
Ridiculous, because they'll bring all that food and they'll be like, all right, be mindful of your weight. Be like, man, fuck that. This is 4 Chick-fil-A sandwiches here. I'm knocking off all 4. We'll figure it out after the fact, dog. It's just like, we ain't got time to be worried about that. Man, it's just, we were spoiled. I can't lie. Right? We were spoiled. Like, just the amount of resources is just absolutely ridiculous, man. It's just, like I said before, if you could think it and they didn't have it, you'd have it within a week. You just, like, they were legit. I remember I chipped a tooth at practice. I went and got it fixed same day. It was just like, oh, yeah, don't worry about it. And they took me to a dentist office and he fixed my tooth same day. I'm just like, this shit would have took like 2 weeks if I was still at home.
Oh, yeah. If you even got an appointment. I love the stories that oh man, the coach that does the stories in Mississippi. I can't think of his name, but he was a South Alabama. He used to be coach at St. Paul's. You know who I'm talking about. He's on with McCarron.
Siski?
Yeah, Siski, yeah. And he's talking about Saban's like, would play golf. They clear the golf course for him. He's driving and they, like the police are like, he's got an escort where he wants to go. They don't pull him over, like when Saban was at Alabama. I mean, you talk about a guy that ran things. He ran shit.
Nah, without a doubt, dog. Like Saban was he was such a bad motherfucker at Bama, dog. It's just like I remember days we'd pull up to the complex and usually he'd be in his little S550 Benz. I say little S550 like that shit normal. But he'd have his S550 parked most of the time, but then days he'd be in that little two-door sport Mercedes-Benz coupe that he had. And like that shit alone was like a tourist attraction. It's just like, God damn, it's how Nick pulling up. Like everybody wants to see what Nick's in today. And just for somebody to have just that much sway over people is insane. Insane.
Do you think like DeBoer got there? He's been like places where they don't really care that much about college football or doesn't have like this impact where you're the head coach at Alabama. I mean, you're more popular than the governor. You got just as much power, right? Maybe more when you're Nick Saban. Like it's like when he put like the superhero, uniform on, like he's wearing the Iron Man suit for the first time, and he doesn't even know the power that the thing has. You know what I mean? Like,
he's just like he don't even
crashing.
know, he's just like when DeBoer fucks around and win a title, like he'll be solidified as one of the greats. easily. Just because it means that much to people, especially in his case, because he came after Saban. And so I feel like once he wins the championship, that'll mean a lot because so many people had so many reasons to doubt him. You know, um, first time in the SEC, following up, an all-time great head coach. And you know what I'm saying? This is probably the biggest program he's ever been a part of. Everybody has their doubts. Can he recruit? Can he do this? Can he do that? And he just slowly but surely showing motherfuckers like, watch this shit. He just like
Yeah.
he ain't boisterous about it. He ain't over the top. He's slow and methodical about it. He's just like, watch this. And as you can see, he's slowly building these classes, man. Those coaches are working overtime right now. And that shit gets me excited for the season, honestly. Because you sit in the off season and you just on the outside looking in, you just kind of trying to wonder, figure out like what are their plans, what are their goals, like what are we trying to get out of this off season, and then you see them start to land these big time recruits, and then you can in your mind picture where these recruits fit in and what we're doing. It's just like, oh shit, like okay, they know what they're doing. Like we're gonna get there, we're gonna be all right. And
Yeah.
so
That's
I'm
what's
excited
happening.
about it.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
it really is. It really has been a phenomenal class so far for Alabama. Jireh Edwards makes his commitment public tomorrow. He's the guy from Upper Marlboro, Maryland, the number 2 safety, and it's between Bama, Auburn, and Georgia. He canceled his remaining visits to Oregon and Texas A&M. Mo Lindquist has been after him. Bama secondary has been just amazing, the amount of
Yeah.
talent that they've brought in. And Edwards, the number 2 safety in the country, would obviously add to that. And, you know, he's somebody else that if Bama gets another 5-star, I mean, they'll have that's more 5 stars than anybody. And I mean, you know, they're starting to triple up on people when it comes to these 5 stars.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, man, slow and methodical. This shit's not instant gratification. Those boys are building a football team. They're building a program with some structure, and they're doing their damn best to find guys that want to be there. And so I'll take it any day of the week, man, because you know, just as fast as you see a lot of these guys get all these 5 and 4-star recruits in, all they're committed, those be the same teams with a bunch of flips as well, right? Um, and so I'm not too concerned with guys committing and signing right now, but it's starting to happen for us. It's starting to click. Guys are starting to realize, like, all right, they're still building something down there at Bama, and it's nothing to be worried about. You know, everybody has their doubts with Saban gone, but this is year 2, man. Man, they seen the potential year 1, and so I hope they continue to pick up what we putting down, man, and be a part of it because it's something special. Even after you're done, the Bama program is something special. It's something special to be a part of. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep. Love it. Well, it's been fun, man. It's been fun watching them put this class together, and it continues to grow. A couple things before we get off. I want to tell you guys Pearl River Resort in Philadelphia, Mississippi brings you the show, brings you the channel. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel and know that it's brought to you by them. The Azaleas, the Oaks, 2 amazing golf courses over there at Dancing Rabbit. You got, which is really an amazing sports book, the Timeout Sports Lounge. You don't have to go all the way out to Vegas to check out the Timeout Sports Lounge, but you should. Hour and a half from Tuscaloosa, 2 and change from Birmingham. 20 big screen TVs, full size bar. You got someone at the window if you need a little bit of help putting your bed in. You got individual kiosks as well. Philip M. Steakhouse, Mom and Them's Restaurant. So many cool things going on, including Jeff Dunham, the comedian. He's going to be there. And then also New Life Art. Take advantage of our promo code BAMA Tailgate, 20% off at New Life Art when you use that, newlifeart.com. You got to put it in the section that says at the end of it, where it's like, hey, where'd you hear about it? Yeah, Bama Tailgate, get you 20% off right there. So, Shank, great to see you, man. Have a great holiday. You guys as well. Roll Tide, everybody. And we will do it again really soon. And hopefully Bama just continues to keep up this momentum. It's been fun to watch.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely gets you excited for the season. I can't wait to, I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna save that for another show.
Yeah,
But
save it for another show.
absolutely. But I'm excited, man. You roll tide to it. Until next
Roll
time.
Tide.
Escape to Pearl River Resort.